Hi and welcome to yet another quick review. So this one will be about the KTM 790 Duke. So what can I say about this bike? So this is a demo bike which I got as a replacement while my KTM 1290 Adventure R, Super Adventure R, is at its 1000 kilometer service after break-in. So let's start with most important bit of every motorcycle, suspension. So suspension of this bike is not adjustable except for the preload and the rear shock. So rebound, I couldn't find rebound adjustment, but I could find here a preload adjuster for spring. This is not good at all, I think. No adjustability, so you got what you got. And as the shock fades over time, you cannot fix it with a few clicks here and there. This is what you get. How it feels? So rear suspension feels very stiff on rebound dumping, and the front forks kind of okay, but could be better. So I think, as the suspension setup shows, this bike is designed for very even tarmac, no bumps. It doesn't behave very well over the bumps, both front and rear. So I'm not sure what exactly is wrong with the front, but as no adjustability is possible, it's hard to figure out. So suspension, I would say it's about 3 out of 10 on this bike. Could be much better with a little bit better suspension. So what else? Second most important bit, ergonomics, because you're gonna ride it anyway, and this is what you're gonna feel. Suspension and ergonomics, of course. So this bike for me, and I'm 6 feet tall, meter 85 centimeters. This bike is too small for me. The distance between bars and the seat is too short, and also the height and the lean angle of the seat in here, this is too steep comparing to the distance from the pegs to the seat. So when I sit on the bike, my leg hangs over the seat in this area, so no support for the leg, and there's a lot of weight goes into the spine actually. And when you ride it, it feels like you are sitting actually right here somewhere. Too small, too short, a lot of weight on the front wheel. I would prefer a bit more room for myself on a bike like this. So the third important bit about a motorcycle is the engine. So engine power is fine. This bike is still under braking period, so I cannot do a full throttle application for a long time. Cannot go higher than specified revs. But from the bottom end, bike feels fine. So I think the engine has enough torque at low RPM definitely for this type of a setup, and I think this will be a great engine for something like enduro application bike if we're gonna build one. The problem with an engine is engine management. So when you close the throttle under engine braking, you go into a turn. When mid-turn you start opening the throttle, you feel a big hit. So it's kind of on-off situation when very slight application of a throttle from a full closed position gets like very high initial kick, which may potentially end up in a crash, I think, on the wet conditions at the higher lean angles. So this is the same problem with Yamaha R1, for example, especially model year 2009 and through 2014. When you engine braking, when you slowly open the throttle, and it's just no graceful translation in this kind of conditions from a closed throttle to fully open throttle. That is a big problem, I think. But it's all electronic, so it can be fixed. It just needs a different, smarter programming of the ECU to add the mode in addition, or fix whatever mode, transition mode it is right now in there. So that's about the engine. I don't know, noise of engine with current exhaust is fine. It does boo 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 like a 2-cylinder thing. I think it's fine, even though exhaust looks ugly. Yeah, so these are the initial impressions. Brakes are fine. I don't know, not the best ones, but they kind of okay. Oh, it feels alright. Couldn't see any problems with them. Last thing about the bike, important for most, the looks. How does it look? I don't know, it's controversial. This side with an exhaust like that looks ugly. Engine looks fine, nicely finished. I don't like this bit at all. Like, what is that? Like a stick in the ass? Yeah, the looks are kind of controversial. It looks better from this side. I think chain needs some tightening. That's another problem. Front, like headlight, it looks strange, but whatever. This is a new look of a KTM. Dashboard feels alright, visible under bright light, no problem. Yeah, so in terms of a point, so how much would I give out of 10? Like motor, despite the bad electronics, probably like, I don't know, 6 out of 10. With electronic fixed, that would be probably 9 out of 10 for this size of motor. Brakes, probably, I don't know, for this type of a bike, probably 9 out of 10. Suspension, I don't know, 5 out of 10 maybe lower, don't like it. Sitting position, ergonomic, 3 out of 10 for my height. Probably if you like something like 1.85 m, you would prefer another bike. If you 1.75 m, then you will be fine with this bike probably. But seat is quite uncomfortable. I'm not sure why they do it like this. Who on earth knows? Maybe this bike is designed for like some, I don't know, female riders, maybe? Short riders, I don't know. Generically, the bike as it is, would I buy it for myself? Definitely no. Just no way. I wouldn't survive on it. Don't see any point of it at all for myself. I mean, even as a street bike, there are better bikes out there. What would be interesting is to see this engine with a fixed electronics. That open close throttle problem fixed to become some sort of a dirt bike. I think the engine has potential for that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Oh, okay, let's ride it. Maybe I'll give some more comments, and then I'll have a cigarette. It's strange how bikes like this come out at all. It's like, why would we be doing it? If it would be my company making motorcycles, I would never release anything like that at all. It's like just waste of R&D money. Maybe we're trying to minimize the cost or something like that, but this is too much. You can minimize the cost by other means, but this is just, if your final product is a useless piece of shit, then it doesn't really matter how much money did you manage to save manufacturing it, isn't it? Come on. Ignition. Oh, alright. Why I cannot turn the key? Oh, here we go. I couldn't even turn the fucking key into the on position. It was stuck. Yeah, another thing, the fuel gauge on this is broken already, even though it's a new bike. So it shows either full tank of gas, or suddenly it drops to like no gas at all, even though you have more than half of a tank. Sorry. Here we go. You see that? This is me opening throttle. how stupid is that? Like, why would you? I don't know. Imagine you in rain, in a turn, and trying to open throttle, and it does brr, brr. What the fuck is this? This is so fucking stupid bike. But again, it's all electronics, it's not a motor, it's not mechanical. This is just the way how this transition mode is programmed in from the full engine braking to open your throttle. Of course, on a fat gear you don't notice it that much, but on the fast 2, oh, here we go, now it was fine, look at that. So it's random. Now it did well. Engine braking, no, it still does it. So engine power is okay. So this is what I like about the engine. So I think the engine is fine. It has plenty of power. For its size, it's a miracle. I think it's better than BMW 850 engine, for sure. Yeah, this bike has quick shifter and ABS and whatever, traction control, which are all good things to have. And I'm in my civilian clothes, so I'm not gonna test those at the moment. And I don't wanna crash this bike as well, because it's not mine. And I care about other people's stuff. There you go, brakes are fine, definitely. Yeah, mirrors are strange. I kind of never adjust them properly. I don't know what to do with them. Like whatever position you put them in, it's not right. I don't know, maybe they magnifying or so, I don't know, something is wrong with them, something is not right. But what are alternatives? There is 800 from BMW. I don't know. I think this category is still in hands of Japanese manufacturers. Yeah, plenty of low-end torque. Of course, no wind protection. Here we go. How do I fucking put this mirror so I could see what's behind me? And again, I'm not paid by any company at all, so this is just whatever I do for fun, and I guess to help you guys to decide if you're looking for a motorcycle and you want like a second opinion, like in a doctor case, you went to one doctor and he said you're gonna die, and another says, oh well, there is a cure. Maybe this is what I'm doing, trying to figure out maybe there is some sort of a, I don't know, some goods and bads which I won't see or won't do because they paid by the company. You know, most of these reviewers, they actually paid by companies which give them, where do I park? I want to park in the shade. Let's pretend we're filling in. Yeah, we paid by the companies, and so we always say good things. Everything is great. I probably just read one big script which is given to all of them, because if you listen to majority of them, we're gonna say everything word to word exactly the same. Yeah, so as I said, there are better bikes, but the engine is good if fuel management could be fixed. Let's get some ice cream. Обалденно. Бишки суплещет.
Ремонтось.
А чё? Yeah, and I think this is what we're missing at the moment. So this world is kind of all based on lies, sell more, just lie. Technology is there as well. In many cases it looks like whoever wants or needs to put it all together just cannot manage to do it in the right way. Even companies like KTM, as you can see, they do some strange setups. Like, what are these brakes? What is KTM makes them? I don't know. Why not put the Brembo brakes on it? You want motorcycle to be reasonably priced and fucking optimize everything. Why you wanna go on cheap on parts? Optimize your manufacturing process, cut to management, because this is where the money are. Do the marketing smartly. Why? You wanna release something like this and tell it's a good motorcycle. Well, eventually people will stop believing you and will end up in even worse scenario. Nobody wants to buy you. Wonders of a modern world. But it's happening everywhere. Look at the new Africa Twin. It sucks. Rusting spokes from Honda, from Japanese manufacturer. That's a big fuck up. No glory. Even in Japan, it looks like. Yeah, yes, lies. Yeah, that's a review. Review with ice cream. Then my back hurts. I'm in pain after 10 seconds on this bike. Yeah, this is definitely not a motorcycle for me. But even with BMW, look at this 850 GS. From the off-road bike, it more and more transits towards the road bike. Road bike, which looks like off-road bike, but designed to be ridden on roads. Something is wrong with that. Of course, taking into account cheapness of this world, and many people who like adventure riders, they take their off-road bikes to off-road like never. Many of my friends, actually really many of my friends, a lot of them, bought 1200 GSs after I did. in 2016. And like only me and my nephew are riding them off-road, or used to ride them off-road, because I have KTM now, 1290 Adventure, Super Adventure R. So maybe that's a trick. So the bikes are built for the people who think they are adventure riders, but in reality they're not. But we want to look like those with their freaking street tires on the adventure bikes. And marketing follows that somehow. Think, oh, look at that, nobody takes these bikes off-road, so let's make them more road-oriented bikes. I don't know, it's wrong. Male should have penises and balls, and if we buy a GS, it should be when ridden off-road and road as well. But when I see a GS Adventure with road tires, street tires, I wanna vomit on both the bike and his owner. Adventure fucking riders. And when eventually for all this shit we end up with something like this. And somebody is gonna buy it, right? And it's not cheap, right? It's 10 grand or something like that. So somebody is going to put 10,000 freaking euros into back pain. I don't know. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm still recording. Alright. So I'm not sure what else to say. After this point it's gonna be just ice cream eating, some random thoughts. Smoking. Yeah, freaking smoking. No vegetarian food at all. And then ride back to my KTM dealer, which is nearby here. See? So have a nice day and safe ride. Actually, street bikes are quite interesting category, to be honest. Category which cannot find itself somehow. It fluctuates. Алло.
Hello.
Taip, klausau.
Sveikas, Remigijus.
Taip. Aha, gerai. Tuoj atvažiuosiu.
Gali atlenkti, jo.
This is my KTM dealer telling me what the bike is ready. Yeah, so adventure bikes are clear, right? They're supposed to be something which you can take off-road, but you can do long distances on the road as well. Those are adventure bikes to me. There are motocross bikes, this is a sport bikes for off-road riding, off-road sport. This is clear to me and to everyone, I guess. And there are enduro bikes, which are barely you make it on the road to off-road where you want to ride them, You do all the good stuff there off-road and then barely come back home. These are enduro bikes. Now we have, on the other spectrum, we have street bikes, end of spectrum. Street only bikes, right? For example, we have super sport bikes like a Fireblade, Ninja from Kawasaki, and we have, what else do we have there? We have Suzuki GSX-R, and we have BMW S1000RR and Yamaha R1. And of course on top of that we have only sport bikes like MotoGP, right? Or VSBK bikes, which are kind of rebuilt from the road bikes, and MotoGP is unique machines. That's completely our end of the spectrum comparing to the motocross bikes, isn't it? When we have sport tourers, which sits closer to like a longer distance maybe travel, and closely as fast as on the super sport, not so good in the turns, but many modern sport tourers could do about the same speed as super sports do on the straight line. Big engines, lots of horses, better comfort and better usability, and some wind protection, sporty riding position, no back pain usually on walls because you apply some of your weight through your wrists and support your spine, which is good. And right in there in the middle were supposed to be street bikes, but the manufacturers kind of couldn't figure it out still. Some of them take their super sports and rebuild them into street bikes, like BMW did with S1000R model. So we took one R off, took the fairing off, and that's pretty much it. Here you go. Detuned the engine for no freaking reason again. We could have leave the S1000RR engine as it is in that bike. It wouldn't be no worse at all to me. Because S1000R is crazy enough. If you add 30 more horses on top of what it has, no harm at all to anything. It's already quite stupid. In a good way. So here we go. Is S1000R is a street bike? No freaking way. It's a sports bike which is detuned and defaired. And it's not a street bike. Of course I forgot about new category where XR from BMW and Multistrada sits. The road version of a Multistrada. That's kind of a tourist with a, tourist with a longer suspension travel for bumpier street roads, maybe. That's understandable. Yeah, but we here trying to define what a street bike is. So is detuned super sport is a street bike? No. Is this what we see here is a street bike? The KTM, is it a street bike? Well, it would be if it would be comfortable with a better suspension, better seat, better ergonomics. Then this would be a street bike. I think for a street bike, front suspension should be approximately 150mm travel and rear about the same. And I can say that is a street bike. It needs to be bigger and more comfortable. Because even though you ride short distances, you still don't want to break your spine over every bump you met. Right? You want to feel comfortable through the seat and through ergonomics. Should it be like a girl version and a man's version of the same bike? Yeah, why not? Just change the freaking seat. I don't know. So what is a street bike? Have I seen any yet? What I would really like? No. I thought actually when I took this one, but this will be a great street bike based on reviews I saw on YouTube. Like people like them actually. We probably like this bike because KTM pay them somehow to like it. And so we just take bullshit for hours trying to say, oh, not like that, trying to find good points about it and hide all the bad points, and even those who mention them, just mention them lightly. Oh, that's a little bit like, oh, it's not track oriented. This suspension is not track orientated, whatever. This suspension sucks, and even a freaking key, you cannot always put into the on position easily, for whatever freaking reason. And the fuel tank sensor already broken. Now it actually works, look at that. Auto repair, probably nanotechnologies. Auto repair function. Yeah, like every bump through your spine, straight. Bomb! Into the spine discs. And break them. Freaking stupid little bike. Yeah, for this throttle we could have just put just a button, you know, throttle on, throttle off. Like when you press a button, then you get a full throttle, and then you release a button. There is no throttle application, engine braking. This is how it feels. Fucking stupid. And I wonder, it's probably ride by wire even. Yeah, it looks like it's ride by wire, or fly by wire, or whatever, wire by wire. Crappy little shit. Boom. There we go. Alright, that's the end of the review for this shitty cycle. Oh, it's so great, look at that. It's so perfect, it has tires. Fucking assholes. Alright, thank you very much for watching, whoever managed to survive to the end of this. See you next time, and bye.